Hi everyone, my name is Marina. I'm the mite medic. I am a specialist at Demodex mites, at relieving inflammation and autoimmune disease using natural herbs, supplements, a holistic approach, and balancing our ecosystem, our microbiome from the inside out. I am here to talk to you about my struggles with Candida, with Demodex mites, and how they correlate, and how how it was a difficult journey for me from start to finish with that, and from understanding what really helped me, not only from understanding but also from having the clarity, because a lot of doctors, they just put you on prescription medications, and that's not what I was looking for, because I knew I had a deeper issue. I knew that if I did take an antibiotic, if I did take an antifungal in a situation where I didn't need to, I would worsen my symptoms. And that's why I did go to a few doctors. I did have help in that regard, but it was only to suppress the symptoms initially. It was never to heal myself fully, because I did reoccur, and I was continuing to reoccur. I'm sorry, there are mosquitoes. As a lot of people have gone through, I've went through a difficult breakup personally, in my personal relationship, and I struggled. I actually thought it was for the better, but I lost a tremendous amount of weight. People were thinking I was going to a bikini or a bodybuilding competition. I was at the gym at least twice a day for 3 hours, and it got to such an extreme where I had no fat on my body. I had a test that measured the fat on my body. It was like a pinch test at the gym, the establishment that I would attend to go to work out, and I believe it was 14% body fat, and that was unheard of. The trainer said that was unheard of for women my age, or just for women in general. 14% body fat is something that is very rare. That shouldn't be sustained for long. It's not sustainable for long. That's the issue. And I had that, and I was still mentally, I had an issue called body dysmorphia. So that's what I figured out at the end of the day. A few months later, I figured out that I had body dysmorphia, but initially I didn't understand it. Initially I was still attending the gym. I was still eating practically nothing. I wasn't eating anything, drinking caffeinated beverage, coffee specifically, espresso shots at 8 p.m. to go to the gym. And it was not, my situation wasn't improving. I had acne all over my face. I had a six-pack. I looked like I was going to go compete. I looked like I was every muscle you could see on my body. It was very, very, very extreme. And so after that, I went to another extreme. I actually developed an eating disorder. I thought it would such an amazing idea to actually expel food out of my system. I don't know how I got that idea, but it was actually the food that I was eating, which was nothing, very low food in caloric density, and I was still expelling that, purging that out of my body. So nothing was coming into my body, no nutrients, just caffeine, and I was losing weight. I believe I purged for a few days even. Attended the gym, and I lost maybe 10 pounds easily. And that was really where I was like, I took a step back. I was like, whoa, I lost so much weight. I was never 115 in my life, and 115 you would think is fine. 115 is great for a girl my age. I'm 5'4", but it was such a low number that people were scared when they saw me. People were scared. My family was frightened. We had an intervention, and it was just insane. And I even noticed how skinny I was, so I started eating, and it went into this very unhealthy cycle where I developed. I was purging, but everyone was telling me that I didn't look good, that I was unhealthy looking, and I developed this habit, which subsequently turned into an addiction, and this habit that turned into an addiction and something I thought I couldn't live without. I thought I was going to die that way. And with that, I started eating everything. So I was eating cakes, I was eating donuts, ice cream by the gallon, boxes of donuts, and purging it. I was like, wow, this is amazing. But I wasn't gaining weight. I was eating. People were seeing that I wasn't gaining weight. I was hiding it very well. It got to a point where I know this video is about my Demodex struggles, but this is really how it started. It got to a point where I was purging 5 times a day, maybe 6. 5-6 times a day I was purging. I was purging. It consumed my whole day. I didn't know. I lost my confidence. I became bloated. I lost my energy. I had brain fog. I lost the confidence of even having a healthy relationship with others, of having a relationship with food, with my boyfriend, with just anything. I thought that in the future I wouldn't be able to even have a boyfriend or a relationship. That was the case. I wasn't able to work. I wasn't able to do anything that was normal. And that affected me tremendously. I ended up meeting someone, but covering it up. So I ended up meeting someone, but covering it up for a very long time, for at least a year. And that's who saved me. So I already developed Candida at that point. I was just hiding it from this person. So interestingly enough, I developed Candida during that time, not knowing I even had Candida. My partner, he was the one that got deathly ill from me. So just from physical touch. So I developed candidiasis I had oral thrush, I had vaginal thrush. I must have had it everywhere because Candida cells are so microscopic. They are one of the smallest cells in existence. And he was allergic to yeast or fungi. And to let you know, most people are allergic to mold. And some people are able to metabolize it, but in this case, my boyfriend, he wasn't able to metabolize it. He had a deathly allergic reaction to it. He couldn't sleep. He had extreme pain, like knives stabbing him in his pain points. He had inflammation. So pain points meaning where he had a surgery done. So where you have a surgery done, usually that is a sensitive point of your body, and usually when you have a reaction to something, an allergic reaction or inflammation, you feel it there first. So he felt it there initially, the stabbing sensation, neurological symptoms, prickling. He couldn't sleep, had nightmares. These are all top symptoms of mold exposure. And we ended up separating, and that was really the catalyst to change me. During that separation, I actually developed Demodex all over my face. I had them, but I didn't even know what they were initially. I knew what they were. I just didn't know that I had them. I was like, me? I wouldn't have. I have the strongest immune system ever, and I ended up having Demodex mites and Candida together. And I believe that both of those come hand in hand. So if you have Demodex, most cases you do have a Candida infestation. or Candida overgrowth, I'm sorry. I just think that it's a Demodex infestation, but usually you have those together. And I ended up going on a very, very strict diet, canceling out all sugar, canceling out any sugar that I had on me, nothing, no fruit, even fruit. I had a few strawberries. I reacted to strawberries, and I ended up taking out all fruit, all higher carbs, even tomatoes, even onions. So I put in a little bit of onions. I had a little bit of butter that didn't affect me as much, but all dairy. So what I was eating was I had apple cider vinegar. I was consuming oregano oil, monolaurin, so coconut oil derivative, and I used betaine HCl. I was using probiotics at that point, and of course I was using antifungals. So the antifungals were very strong, but they did help sort of boost the recovery of the Candida, and actually Demodex mites were getting better. So from the diet specifically, I believe the Demodex mites were getting better, and through the oils that I was consuming, and so that's really what helped me in the long run. That's what helped me. And I ended up, within 3 months, I ended up healing fully. So that's really what my program is about, is by 90 days, if you aren't fully healed, that means that you were doing something, you weren't doing enough of something. And because I personally went through it, I understand that I did everything, and by 90 days you should see results. If it's not half, you should see some results, if not all. I was seeing results by a month or 2 months. So by 90 days you should be fully healed. It's just after that, the maintenance that you need to keep up in order to not have a reoccurrence, because a lot of individuals, they have a reoccurrence. And so my personal journey, I had extreme Candida, one of the worst really, and doctors they didn't find a trace of Candida anywhere. I had all of the tests done, everything. I had my oral scraping done, vaginal, blood work. I had nothing, no trace of Candida, and I still was reacting. Doctors weren't prescribing me antibiotic, which I thankfully knew enough not to take it at that point, because I was learning so much about how antibiotics can worsen the Candida infection, or the candidiasis. And so at that point I was very strict. I was taking actually fluconazole, which is very strong. You don't have to take it. You can go the 90 days with taking monolaurin. Monolaurin is very effective. You can go the 90 days with taking berberine, oregano oil, all of those, as long as your diet is there. If you don't have a good diet, if there's a food that is triggering you, none of the supplements will work. None of them. So you need to understand that you have to go to the most natural, the most simple diet the first few weeks to understand what's affecting you, then keep adding in foods. What I was eating was meat. I canceled out all dairy, all sugar, all high carb foods, even vegetables that were high carb, even most of the butter, and everything was fine. I was happy. I was drinking herbal teas. I was not drinking coffee at all. For some people, coffee is okay. I just wanted the full recovery quickly. I was taking baths, Epsom salt baths. I was getting enough vitamin D, and sure enough, my skin became, I have never seen my skin that perfect. I had acne scars. I have pictures that I can show you. I have a picture. I was not happy at that with those scars, and I was like, this is so easy. I need to teach people how to do this, because it's simple. You just have to make that click, make that change in your life, and do it. And really, with that routine, for the 90-day routine that I used, every single day I was making myself feel full, filling myself up, and of course I wasn't eating any sugar. So the way that you do it is you have to fill yourself up with the right foods if you're hungry, because most cases going to eat sugar when you are hungry. Fill yourself up first. Eat whenever you're hungry. Okay? Don't starve yourself during this process, because you'll end up eating sugar. Eat anytime you want. If it's 3 a.m. you're hungry, make a salad, put some tuna on top of it, apple cider vinegar, it'll be fine. Or make some eggs with a little bit of butter. You can do that. There's so many ways you can mimic other foods, or sort of create things that mimic. So let's say pasta, let's say something sweet. You can mimic that. Of course, I wouldn't suggest sucralose or sugar alternatives the first few stages, but once you are better, you can implement that and see and test it out, of course, when you're fully healed, because you just want to fully heal. You want to stop the itching, and I can guarantee that will happen, and that's what I felt. I've slept like a baby, but I got rid of my eating disorder, and they say that one of the hardest things is to stop bulimia, and that's what I had. And I thankfully was able to not only get rid of my bulimia, but stop eating all sugar. I had an extreme sugar addiction, extreme bulimia, that's an addiction, extreme binging and purging addiction, and I was able to get rid of that in one day. I made the change. I changed my life. And I know you guys can too, because of how much you suffer, because of how many unknown answers you're getting, and you can teach others the same. You can teach everyone around you that, and that's what we're here for, is to teach others our experience. And that was really my experience today. I'm in a happy relationship. I'm healthy. I don't have a reoccurrence, only when I'm eating too much sugar. And that's what I figured out, is I have a reoccurrence, because we need to strengthen our immune system. You need to build that immune system back up, and understand when you're reacting a little, cut out the sugar, because some people, that's what they have to live with, unfortunately, due to past traumas that your body experienced, such as my bulimia. I put it through a lot of trauma, and this is the reaction. This is what it gives back to me, because what you put in, that's what God, that's what the universe gives back, and that's what our body gives back to us. And really, that is my story. That's what I went through with my bulimia, Candida, Demodex, and I was able to get rid of it very quickly. I committed to it, and I got rid of it, and so we have a lot of resources that can help you. So please comment down below on what you would like to hear, on anything you would like for me to create or put out there in the world, anything you would like, because we do have all of those resources, but I'm only going to create something, a video, a resource, a product, if that is something that you need or want, and I see it helping you. Comment down below if you have any of those ideas or any of those questions for me. You can share this video, you can share it with your friends, subscribe and like it, of course, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.